Hello, my name is Diana Hart, and I'm an independent consultant with Paparazzi Accessories. You can see my signs behind me for my lives. Now, I just wanted to talk today about getting organized for your business. I am actually a brand new consultant. The date of today is 2/16/2018, and I began my journey with Paparazzi on 12/27/2017. So right after Christmas, I signed up with Paparazzi Accessories, and I just want to do a short video on getting started and getting organized because I've watched many videos and I may have overlooked one that would have been helpful to me in the first few days, and I will say I watched many videos that were very helpful to me in the first few days, so not dissing anyone else's video. Just for me, there are some things that I wish I'd started at the very beginning. As far as your lives go, I found it to be very important to get very organized before you start your lives. So let's say we're going to do a shop the box. I just finished a shop the box live, so here's my box, okay? But one thing I want to talk about is this packaging, and I have seen videos talking about this. This packaging, I take everything out of this. If you want to reuse this, it's fine. I actually have quit reusing it for the most part. The longer necklaces, sometimes I'll put in here and then fold up. But you can hear how noisy this is. When you go live, as you don't want, especially when you're starting out, if you've been going live for months and it works for you, that's fine. But you don't want to start out with this, okay? So I have a good friend who told me about these cute little bags. These are jewelry bags. Here's my number. I just finished. This is the number that I put on it. Here are my jewelry bags that I got in the craft area. These are in the craft area of Walmart. And these are very helpful. Now, yes, they are, they have an expense to them. Everything does. But see, my necklace comes out just fine. Of course, it's a little wonky there. But my necklace came out just fine from the bag. These are just the little bags. Now, if it's a longer necklace, a lot of times I will put it back in the other packaging. But during your live, it is kind of nice just to have these. And I go ahead and send them like this. One of the other things that I do, and I've seen videos of this as well, is this packaging, this wonderful bubble wrap packaging comes inside your box. I just pulled that out of my box right now. And when you send this, if you're concerned about it, I use bubble mailers. But if you're concerned, you can wrap this up, this necklace. If you were going to sell this necklace, if you would just sell this necklace, you can wrap this up. You can cut part of this off, tape it, and then cut this part down here. You don't need all that, obviously, so you don't want to waste this because you can use this for a different package. But I go ahead and wrap a lot, not all of my things, but especially with this having these stones, even in bubble wrap, these things can, they could become damaged. So I just like to go the extra mile, and I do use this and some tape and wrap this up good. Rings, I do the same thing. So these are just some ideas that you might want. Now these wraps, I go ahead and leave them in the packaging, and I try to mail them flat like this because I've seen things that kind of went weird like this and different things. You don't want that to happen. You want, when you send this out, you want them to open it and to be just like this. Okay, so I do put those back in the packaging. I do mail them out just like this in the noisy packaging, and I actually leave them in there for during the live in the noisy packaging. But you don't want every single thing that you pull out of there to make all that noise. See, when I pick this up, this doesn't make nearly as much noise as this does, So I can only make so much noise with that, which is nice. Okay, so those are some ideas just as far as getting ready for your live. I also find it helpful when I'm getting ready for my live to make sure that my lighting is okay, to go ahead and do a practice live and just to put it on only me and my husband, where we can just watch it ourselves and see how that practice live is going to go, see how the lighting's going to look, and see if it's going to look okay for the actual live. You want to look professional when you get on your live. Today I wore this piece and I sold this piece. Now it doesn't always work that I will wear a piece and sell it. I did not wear the earrings. I showed it just like this. I took it out of the packaging, I wore it and showed the earrings and said, look, it looks exactly, like this. And then I wore the piece and I sold the piece. And so that doesn't always work, but I do try to go ahead a lot of times and wear, especially a larger piece like this, something that maybe your customers wouldn't normally wear, a larger piece like this. I actually don't normally wear pieces like this, but in this instance it worked and I was able to sell this necklace. So that works. So there's different things that you can do, just getting started, getting organized, getting all your things organized. I'll show you. I know a lot of people do bins. Nothing against bins. This is not me bashing anybody's way of doing things. This is how I do it, okay? I learned this from a sweet lady right here on YouTube. So she uses a different type of envelopes. Here are my large mailers. I have 3 different sizes of mailers. I've got smaller, bright pink mailers. They work for the little delicate necklaces, or if they just want 1 pair of earrings, it will fit in there. You can fit 3 or 4 smaller items into those smaller hot pink mailers. And mine are not the smallest one. There's a small, really small, it's a 4x8. I didn't buy those. Mine are it's probably 4, but it's longer and skinnier. It's more like this, and I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's not that there's a little square. In fact, 4x8 I might have got 4x8. The little square ones, maybe it's 4x4. I did not buy those, and I'm glad I didn't, because the longer, thinner one is working better for me. There's not a whole lot you can, if you had an order that was just really small things, you might be able to get a couple really small. But now this is just a Paparazzi box. And these are my mailers, okay? And what I do, instead of the bins, because now for me, my office is small, and this is just an old bedroom that we don't use, and we just kind of have it as a sitting room. So I've got a desk right here. I've got, you can't see, but right here are my pegboards, and actually I usually move them to where they're behind me, but I just had the sale, so I have it next to me, so I can just pull things, pull. I don't have to look behind me and spend a lot of time off over here. You want to be interacting with your people as much as possible, so you don't want to be off over here and in the floor, and that's one of the reasons I don't use bins. I don't want to be in the floor, okay? Now I just got in the floor to pick this up because I wasn't actually organized as I should have been. I meant to have this next to me. Okay, now this is what I do. See this little label? I've got some labels, and so I have a friend named Brandy. Okay, I'm going to cover her name up. Her name's Brandy, but I'm going to cover that up. But anyway, I'll have a label on the inside and a label, sometimes both on the inside and the outside. You don't need both labels. But anyway, if it's easier for you on the outside or on the inside, either way. And then, so I just have all of these sitting right next to me, or sitting as close to me as possible, so that I can just reach in and put jewelry in these bags. And so let's say I've just started and this one was blank right here and it was blank right here. Then I just get my pen, and either one of those places, I just write on that their name. And if it was my friend Brandy, I just write Brandy's name on them. Okay, so that's how I fill mine up. I don't do bins. I do these large mailers. These are the largest mailers I have. This is what it looks like. Okay, so that's the largest thing I have. If people order a lot, this is perfect. Again, that's a bubble mailer, but I still, certain items, I'll show you. Here's a good example right here. Let's hook together. Something like this, you're going to need to put bubble wrap around that. I would not send that like that, or just even in the little plastic packaging. I would wrap this around and tape this, okay? And that may seem like a lot of work to you, but nobody's complained about my stuff's torn up. So to me, it's worth it. It doesn't really cost a whole lot more to send it. I'm using stamps.com. I'm not sure that many paparazzi people use it, because there is a charge. There's a monthly charge for that, but I got the first month was free. The monthly charge is $15.99, I believe. And I like it. It's very organized. It's not real time consuming for me. I can package everything here. I don't really have to deal with the post office. Now for me, I'm always concerned about somebody stealing things off of my porch. We live in a world where things aren't always safe. And if you have things delivered to your house all the time and that's safe for you, then feel free. With stamps.com, you can schedule a pickup. So you don't have to deal with the post office at all. You can do it all here at your house. And so I do all of it here at the house, except I do go to the post office and I do mail those things off. But for me, with it only being $15.99 a month, I feel like the shipping costs are cheaper through them, and also through PayPal. You can ship through PayPal and you don't have that $15.99 fee. I have not used it. So all I know is stamps.com. But for me, I feel like the cost is not a problem, because if you are going to ship out, let's say, I'm sure I probably within the last month and a half have shipped out at least 32 packages. A lot of my people are local, so some of my stuff is local, some is shipping off. But I would imagine I have shipped off at least 30 things. So, okay, there was a cost, but it was, to me, it was worth it to do everything here at the house. And once you put your contacts into stamps.com, they're in there. You do not have to keep putting the same contact in over and over and over. So it's in there. You don't have to, keep handwriting. Some people are handwriting. You don't have to keep doing that. You just type their information in one time. I invoice through Square. I do not use PayPal. Square actually gives you, now they call it 1,000 in processing free, but what it is, it's not the processing charges, it's 1,000 in sales. So you sell $1,000 within the first 6 months, and they give you your processing charges free, which is very helpful when you're starting out, because we all have charges and we all have extra things that we're dealing with. I bought 3 different types of shipping, which a lot of people don't do the kind of stuff that I do. But for me, I'm kind of perfectionist. I bought the 3 different shipping envelopes, and I bought a huge thing of bubble wrap, which I haven't even used because I've been using this thanks to all these people online. But someday I probably will. If I sell enough, I will need the bubble wrap. So I bought a thing of bubble wrap. I bought a new lamp. Different things that we're buying and spending money on, and maybe you haven't done that, but I've done that. So this was just one other thing. It's just one other expense. But like I said, I feel like that stamps.com was worth it, and I feel like that Square is worth it because you get that processing for free. That's just one less thing you have to deal with for the first few months. Now, I will say I have almost used my free processing up already, but they give you a link. So if you have friends that you can get to sign up under you with that link, then you'll get another 1,000 from each person. So the 1,000 doesn't necessarily run out. I think mine's going to run out because I need some people to sign up through my link. But they do give you a link that you can give out to other people. So that's just another housekeeping thing. When you're signing up, if you're going to use PayPal, that's up to you. But I picked Square because that processing charges were free for a certain amount of time. And like I said, mine's already about to run out. I thought this was going to last me months, and I'm like, wow, I thought it was 1,000 free processing. That's not exactly, it's sales. Well, I've already sold quite a lot, so I've already kind of gotten very close to that. Okay, so the other thing I was going to talk about, I'm going to move this so I have room. The other thing I was going to talk about, most people talk about using a notebook. Now, here's my notebook, and everybody shows their notebook. Here's my notebook. You can see my writing is so messy. I know this is backwards for you. I do not write neat, okay? So I had a live sale. My live sales right now, I started out, and I think this is probably very normal in paparazzi, and so I'm not going to pretend my live sales are not huge, okay? When I started out, they went very well. The month of January was wonderful for me. I did very well. I sold quite a lot. And then about the time February hit, things kind of leveled off. I'm still selling, but it's nothing in February like it was in January. And so I'm not going to sit here and be dishonest about it. That's just the way it is. Do I think it will pick up? Yes. Do I think that I'm going to have to work hard to get it to pick up? I probably will. I'm probably going to have to work harder. Okay, so anyway, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like things have been great. So I just had a live sale, and so in my notebook, I agree with using the notebook. I'm not dissing anybody again. I'm not against the notebook, but this was the organizational part I really wanted to discuss. The notebook is okay for me. Now, this is for me because my writing is not that great. The notebook is okay for me as far as during a live sale to record, the pieces that each person bought. Okay, that's fine. After that, I have to go to a spreadsheet. I just have to. That's me, because when I go back and look at this, it's a mess to me. It's just a mess. So what I'm doing when I'm invoicing people, I try after the sale to invoice as soon as possible. A lot of my people are local. I don't even bother putting them through Square. The local people, I just send them a text message or a Facebook message. I'm not going to bother invoicing people through Square if they're going to just hand me cash. Because the thing is, I mean, you can send them the invoice and you won't get charged, but at some point, if they pay the invoice through Square, you're going to get charged for every single one of those people. So I have no interest in being charged for every one of those people. So I only invoice the out-of-town people I'm going to ship to, unless they ask me to. Now I have one friend that asked me to go ahead and invoice her to it, so I do. Okay, so what I want to discuss was getting a spreadsheet, because here's what happens. I realized after I was doing this about 2 or 3 weeks that, oh my goodness, my notebook is a mess. I have no idea what's going on. I have had cash coming in. I have no idea what's going on with the cash. Who paid me what? Who bought what? How many pieces? Now, I will say this, on Square, you want to make sure and itemize. A lot of people will send me things through Square, an invoice through Square, and it's not itemized. And I'm telling you, as far as taxes that are going to come around at some point, you need to get itemized, because it itemizes your tax that you're charging them. On my spreadsheet, I have a line, tax. It itemizes your shipping. If you put it in there, if you don't put it in there, it's not going to itemize. You're just going to have an amount, and that's going to be your total. And then at the end of the year, you're going to look at this and you're say, what was this? I don't even know what this was. Well, the way I do it, I have Paparazzi jewelry, and then let's say they ordered 5 pieces. Okay, Paparazzi, you can go in and say times 5, so it'll say Paparazzi times 5. Now you have to add all this in yourself. All these line items, you make this up yourself in Square. But this is how I would do it. I would not do it the way this just comes up custom amount, because what's going to happen at the end of the year, you're going to need your taxes, and you're going to be like, what happened here? Did you send them a free piece? I mean, is it on there? You don't know. And I started realizing myself, I wasn't really utilizing my notebook the way I should, and so that's why I went to the spreadsheet. So what I do now, if I meet with somebody, let's say they come over to my house and they give me money, I try to remember immediately, go to my spreadsheet and start filling it in. So what do I have on the spreadsheet? Well, I have their name. I have the date that they paid me. I don't worry so much about the date that I'm typing it in or the date that I had the sale. I don't worry about that. I'm worried about, I want to know what date did they pay me, because I might go ahead and, let's say that I put somebody in for today, and I go ahead and type their stuff in, and they ordered 7 things and they get a free piece. I put that down, free piece. Down here, further down, I put down how much would I be writing off for a free piece. Well, a free piece is $5, and because if I sold it, it would be $5. And then our tax where we live is 49 cents. So down there at free piece, I type in $5.49, because that is what I would have made on that piece, right? Okay, so that's going to be a write-off. So you need to be maximizing all of these things to make sure you're getting your write-offs. Also, with mileage, let's say you're driving somewhere and meeting somewhere. Let's say where we live, let's say I'm going to go meet somebody at Walmart. Well, the Walmart where I live is 13 miles from me. Okay, well, I know in my brain it's 13 miles, right? Or it's probably 14. It's probably about 14 miles. Okay, I know that in my brain. Here's the thing. If you ever get audited, they don't care that you know in your brain it's 14 miles, okay? What they want to see if they audit you is starting and ending mileage. So let's say you get in the car tomorrow, so you need a calendar. I have a small calendar I got at Dollar Tree, $1. My husband and I both write off mileage. I own a business. I've written off mileage for years, and I've never been audited. However, I have a little notebook from every year. If anything ever happens, if anybody ever has a question, ever audits me, I have my little notebook, and you want to have that, because my husband says the spreadsheet isn't even what they want to see. They want to see your logbook. So, of course, that would be for our lives out. This would be our logbook. Okay, so I definitely will keep this, and I will tell them good luck reading it. I can't read it either. Good luck, IRS. But what is my point? You need to have a plan. You need to have in your car. I keep mine in my purse, but let's just say you just will leave yours in your car. Mine's in my purse. When I get in the car, I write down, let's say I'm going to go meet somebody tomorrow and I know it's 12 miles. Well, we already said it doesn't matter that you know it's 12 miles. The IRS wants to see you logging it in. And what they want to see is your starting mileage and your ending mileage. So every day when I get in the car, that's what I log. I have a house cleaning business. I drive quite a ways to clean houses. So I'm already used to doing this. I get in the car and I log starting, and I even forget. I've been doing this for almost 19 years. I still forget. There's days, sometimes I go 3 days and I have to go back. That, if you want to talk about fun, in April or next year in January, February, March, when you're piecing your taxes back together, let me tell you something. You don't want to be doing that. You do not want to be piecing your taxes together, okay? So that's why I'm telling you this. Don't wait till next January and say, oh, I can figure that mileage out. You can't, okay? You're never going to figure it out. Or if you do, it's going to be very time consuming and very confusing. It'll be better for you if you get you a little calendar and write in there that starting mileage and then that ending mileage when you finish out whatever it is that you've done that day, a delivery or going and picking up supplies. You see, you can write off all kinds of things, and you need to be keeping your expenses, which would be all of your receipts for anything that you have bought. Now, I bought a lot of things off of Amazon, and they quit sending those receipts. So what do I have to do? I have to get on the computer and I have to print off all those receipts. So at the end of the year that I will have all those. And you don't want to wait till December or January of next year to start printing these receipts off. Why? Because you're not going to remember that you bought this table lamp, which is one thing that's on my receipts. Bought a little table lamp for my lives. You're not going to remember that, okay? So these are just some little tips and tricks. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email address is D as in Diana. My name is Diana Hart. Hart, so it's DDHART 2500@yahoo.com. If you have any questions about any of this, I am not a tax preparer. But I do know about taxes is what I have to do, my write-offs for my cleaning business. So I've learned these tips and tricks over the years. A spreadsheet is the way to go. I have a mileage spreadsheet for my cleaning that also puts in, put in what I made, what I made today. And so there's lines for all that. So it's the same thing with Paparazzi. How many items did you sell? Did you send a free piece to somebody? Write off your free piece. Log your mileage, and you need to have those numbers beginning and end. Don't just put a number, don't just put a number in 12, okay? You need starting and ending, and then you can have that spreadsheet figure out the actual miles. So let's say Walmart's 4 miles from you. You can have the spreadsheet figure the mileage out for you. You don't have to go adding all this up. I hear people literally, I hear people talking about this and going, and then at the end of the week I add this up. No, look, don't add that up at the end of the week. You can do that if you want to, but have this spreadsheet add for you. Because when you have a notebook like this and you're adding this stuff up and trying, you got your calculator and stuff, this is where mistakes come in. And when I do that, I have to add it over and over, because one time it'll be 120 and the next time it'll be 135. And how did that happen? Well, I don't know. And I have to go do it again. Don't do that. Put everything in the spreadsheet. If you need help with the spreadsheet, I would guarantee you know somebody who knows how, or Google, Google how do you add on Excel. I use Excel. I'm sure there's other spreadsheets out there. I've used Excel for years. My husband helps me, do you put like there's like a little equation that you have to put in for everything that you're adding, okay? It's not difficult. So maybe Google or ask a friend that knows a lot about spreadsheets, but these spreadsheets are the way to go. Don't feel like everything's got to be handwritten and hand logged and hand everything. I can promise you it is just so much easier when you're invoicing just to go straight to that spreadsheet. I wait until I'm on stamps.com already and doing my mailing, and then I go ahead and log in everything then. So I know I'm mailing so-and-so over here 7 items. I know I sent them a free item. They won something. So I'm over here, $5.49, write my write-off over here toward the end. So that's what you want to do. You want to get everything organized and on a spreadsheet. If you're a brand new Paparazzi person or haven't signed up yet, I would tell you that one of the first things you need to do, I am so sorry I waited about 2.5 to 3 weeks to start my spreadsheet. Dumb. I'm telling you, it was dumb, because when I start going back and looking at this, it was a huge mess. I had to go back to text messages and piece stuff together, and what day did I deliver to that person, and oh, here it is, miles back on the text messages. It's a pain, okay? Just write this stuff down. If you absolutely do not want to do a spreadsheet, that's fine. do it in a notebook, but write it down where you can read it, where it's legible, make you a chart, however you want to do it, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, I hope this has been helpful. Again, my name is Diana Hart. This is my very first video. I hope that you have enjoyed this. If you have any questions, like I said, my email address is ddhart2500@yahoo.com. Please feel free to send me a message on Facebook. I'm under Diana D. Hart. And also have a Facebook group. It's Diana's $5 Paparazzi Facebook. It's not hard to find. There's more than one Diana, but anyway, I only have a few members so far. I've only got like 60 members in my group. I'm probably not that hard to find. If you see one that's 500 members, that's not me. All right. Thank you so much for watching and for listening to this information. Thank you. Have a great day.